Hello my friends, what is up? What's going on this beautiful winter day? I do want to talk to you about the upcoming North Node transit through the sign of Pisces and South Node transit through the sign of Virgo. Now it is a very sunny day, even though it's pretty cold. I think it's what do you call it, cold front in Miami right now. I still feel kind of like recording outside. I don't know, I've been I've been on a roll lately, getting my, how they call it, sun maxing. I started doing hot yoga as well. Yesterday actually I had the night session of hot yoga. It's crazy. It makes me feel so ecstatic. And actually, talking of hot yoga, yesterday in the end of my class, the instructor shared this amazing quote, which I had to come up to her after class and ask her, like, what is this? Is it a quote? And she very kindly sent it to me, which is actually the way I want to start this video. You don't know where your story is taking you now. You don't know where you will be a day, a week, or even a month from now. But the one thing you know is where you are right now is perfect. And I'm going to attach this quote, to the video, because I really think it is so fitting, this North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo theme. Again, it's a very beautiful journey that's ahead of all of us for the next 18 months. Of course, let me give you some dates. The North Node will enter the sign of Pisces on January 11 this year, 2025. Happy New Year. And it's going to stay there all the way till July 26, 2026. So this entire 2025 and the first half of 2026, we are here on this journey with North Node in Pisces, which is pushing us to embrace the unknown, to let go of our own previous limited thinking, limited beliefs, criticism, critical people, maybe even in our life. Anyways, we have previously ourselves shrinked ourselves, limited ourselves, maybe just kind of like settled for very little. Like, oh, okay, I make some paycheck at this job. Oh, okay, I don't love this person anymore, but it's okay, it gets the job done. Oh, okay, this is my current life, that's just how it is. For all of us, even for those of us, I was recording my dream life, how I manifested my dream life video early this morning, and I was saying that even though I am living my dream life right now, something that I wanted a few years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, for sure, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I couldn't even dream about a lot of things I have now. But I still have new desires. I actually have new dreams now, and I have to honor that. And for a lot of us, there's going to be this moment with North Node in Pisces where we are going to be invited to dream again, to start imagining things, to allow ourselves to think big beyond our current circumstances. Even if our circumstances are good, sometimes people make the mistake. They think like, oh, it's only when you're in bad circumstances that you gotta dream yourself awake, so to say. No, sometimes you could be in a good place and you could appreciate where you are, but the nature of your journey in this life, your hero's journey, your personal expansion, is that you always need to dream new dreams. I can tell you this with certainty about myself, that even though especially since I moved to Miami, I think it was end of 2021, it's amazing in Miami. Miami is really like heaven on earth. But there's been so many times that even though every day is magical, I still had this internal feeling of unsettlement where I think, what do I dream now? What do I want to manifest? What do I want to create? And it's very important that we keep allowing ourselves to imagine new things, to desire new things. I think for this placement of North Node in Pisces, of course, for different signs, going to be in different house, is going to be more important more than ever. So buckle up. This is the journey. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Of course, if you want your personalized consultations, they are, as of this moment, available. If they're available, the link is going to be in the description box. Now, again, this is the transit, this entire 2025, first half 2026, but we already had the first lunar eclipse in Pisces in September of 2024. So for a lot of us, this is already a theme that started getting activated as we were wrapping up 2024. The last eclipse is going to be in February 2027. It's going to be a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So it's a lengthy journey, of this eclipse axis, different lessons we're going to be learning in relation to Pisces Virgo axis in our chart. Let me give you some of my thoughts for the collective. Of course, whenever South Node goes, this is where things could shrink. Whenever North Node goes, this is where things could expand. Now, again, don't take anything as any kind of fear, but at the same time, do be prepared. Now, I remember I was making a prediction for North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, that there is going to be a lot more military conflicts and wars in the world because, it's common sense. North Node in Aries, anything that's war, military related, gets expanded. South Node in Libra, peace, diplomacy also becomes tricky. Now, with North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, my biggest concern, if we want to get them all out of the way, for the world is, of course, Virgo does represent, certain... Virgo represents things like, on a most basic level, things related to certain purity, even health, animals, and nature are represented with Virgo as well. There could be some issues, perhaps even with certain existing orders. They could be challenged. North Node in Pisces, on a positive level, it could really expand also just, different industries that are new or somehow are, not very well structured, not very well regulated or defined. With North Node in Pisces, of course, this could be very much with AI, with, different industries, like where, again, regulations are not so big. This is what could go through a major growth time right now, growth phase right now in general, certain bubbles even within the economy. If you remember, when Jupiter and Neptune both were in Pisces, this is where, even though crypto was in bear market, still the economy, there was a lot of money printing, different things like this. And now with North Node in Pisces, one of the concerns that I do have is that the state of economy might be tricky, to say the least. And again, I think a lot of it will, fingers crossed we're going to be okay in the United States, and of course, wherever you are in the world as well. But I do think that because we will try to avoid as much as we possibly can going into the bear market, this will actually not serve us. Looking even at the transit in bigger context, looking at how Chiron will be entering Taurus just in a few years from now, I don't have a good feeling, even though I do think that, again, people who are adaptable, they will be probably able to make a fortune in the coming years. Like, if you are somebody who is smart, next 4 years, you have to set for yourself a goal to make, to make your bag, essentially, generational wealth if you can. If not, at the very minimum, set yourself up, as good as you can. If not, at the very minimum, try to align yourself as good as you can, because with North Node in Pisces, definitely I see some opportunities within the emerging markets, within, whatever currently might be even overhyped, overvalued. Still, there are a lot of opportunities there. Now, again, outside of economy and all this stuff, I recommend with South Node in Virgo to take care of your health, to strengthen your immune system as much as you can. Again, we do have Donald Trump president again. It's coinciding at this moment in time with South Node being in Virgo. This is one of the things that I don't necessarily like very much, with these things happening at the same time. Now, again, even though I don't think necessarily we're going to have anything like 2020 again, there are certain risks. And the more you're going to try to strengthen your immune system right now, the better it's going to be. At the same time, there is definitely going to be a huge health reform in the United States, a lot of reforms in the United States that are going to affect the rest of the world as well during this time. Again, some people are predicting major crisis coming in. I don't necessarily see it, even though I do have still concerns for, in general, public safety in the world. I will make a separate video where I will discuss what do I see in terms of, a lot of people are predicting World War III. However, I see a very different picture of what it could be instead of that. I see it more, you will have to wait for the video when I do, get the strength, so to say, to make it, because it's some stuff that's very uncomfortable. I'm not very comfortable talking about it, but I'll make the video anyway. It's more Neptune and Aries theme. Nevertheless, I still think there are a lot of opportunity to enter, so to say, your golden era right around this North Node in Pisces time. Let go of limitations. Again, Virgo is Mercury ruled sign. It's more quick. It's more, it's more something that's shrinkable. It's more something that's smaller. Virgo does rule usually smaller features, even in our face, small pets. Pisces is that ocean, right? It has no borders, no boundaries. So there is this time right now to dream big without limitation, like crazy things, things that feel unrealistic. The bigger you dream right now, the better it is for all signs. Start imagining things, start having that faith. It might be hard right now, but faith, and having that faith, having these ideals, high ideals, that imagination, that creativity is what's going to get us through the next coming years, whatever's going to come our way. Of course, I think people who will be very much rewarded during this time are the ones who, again, have this courage to dream bigger, who do not, just cling to small things. If you just cling to small things, basic paycheck, different stuff like that, it's going to be harder, I think, because again, there's the nature of jobs with the AI economy, with different technological innovations, is going to be changing so fast that, like, if you're going to try to just hold on to whatever it is you're used to, it's going to be hard. Of course, at this time there will be also Neptune and Saturn finishing their journey in Pisces. Actually, North Node will meet with Pisces, with Neptune and Pisces. It's one of the first conjunctions going to have. There's also Venus retrograde in Aries and in Pisces, which showing the nature of even changing economy, our changing values, how we perceive the world. And of course, we will make more breakdown videos, hopefully, as there are some of this more exact, whether it is exact eclipses or exact placements coming up. For now, I just kind of want to give this general overview. And yeah, personally, I'm excited for this transit because it does show us the possibilities that are becoming bigger. With North Node in Aries, it was a tough one for sure. North Node, even before that, in the sign of Taurus, was also not necessarily the easy one. North Node in Pisces, Jupiter dispositor. I have my hopes high for this transit. Let's all try to be a little bit more compassionate, dream bigger, be kinder, and I think it's going to help us a lot. I might insert some other thoughts as I'm editing this video, but for now I want to go to 12 signs and briefly tell you how this is likely going to manifest in your own life. There's going to be timestamp provided. As always, guys, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you want to know how this will play out in your individual chart, which could be different from the collective, obviously, you have your own placements. The links to register for personalized consultation with me are down below. I take not so many clients this year, as I'm trying to limit my time, how much I do various things. So if there is something available, do make sure to book it when you see it, because it might not be available later. Anyway, let's start with Aries. For my dear Aries risings, North Node in Pisces is happening in your 12th house, South Node in Virgo transit is happening in your 6th house. So for the next year and a half, you are invited to dream quite literally more, maybe have more rest. Try to, if there's any unhealthy habits, or if there is too much you're trying to do every day, maybe you are carrying way too much on your shoulders, taking care of everybody's problems, maybe you work too much, could be quite literally. You are invited right now to quite literally embrace more rest, recuperation, taking care of yourself, maybe going on some kind of retreat, maybe going on a bit of a spiritual journey, could be, maybe quite literally just resting more, spending a little bit more time privately. And of course, in your own life, there could be some catalyst to that. Hopefully it's something positive, such as, a birth of a child, maybe a new relationship where you spend more time, with each other in privacy of your home. Maybe it's spiritual journey and you're getting very much into spirituality. Could be many different reasons here. But of course, yes, try to see with South Node and Virgo in the 6th house, where maybe there are certain habits that are not productive, unhealthy, maybe things, maybe you are accumulating too much debt, buying certain things you don't need, maybe you are overworking yourself, maybe you have some unhealthy just daily habits. Try to identify what are those, try to let go of this and allow yourself more time for exploration, dreams, and rest. Okay, for Tauruses, North Node is going to be in your 11th house of dreams, goals, wishes, friendships, community, social circles, and South Node is going to be in your 5th house of creativity, romance, children, could be sometimes even, maybe some creative project, dating. So for the next year and a half, my dear Tauruses, it is time for you to identify where perhaps maybe like you're having some kind of creative side hustle or some kind of creative project, but it's not really honoring the bigger goals you have for yourself. Maybe you want much more for yourself. You have much bigger goals. Maybe that little project you had and you were happy with a couple of years ago, it's time to really level up. I'm a Taurus sun, and trust me, it resonates. Not gonna tell you how, but it does. It's time for you to envision bigger goals. It's time for you to enter rooms that maybe were not previously available before. Level up your circle, leveling up, and if, let's just say, dating partners or any way you maybe even spend your time having fun is not supporting your larger goals, you might be letting this go. Maybe again, you are tired of just going out with same people who don't really go anywhere, not really inspire you. You're deciding to cut this off and instead to focus on building truly networks that matter, networks that can take you places. And also, use your time. Like if you go out and spend money, there better be opportunities for networking there. Not just, you're spending money on fun, and it doesn't really take you anywhere. Maybe you had a child and it's time to let go of a child. I'm just kidding, obviously, stupid joke. But yes, letting go of things related to the 5th house or letting go of certain relationship, you have to things related to the 5th house to really start focusing on those ultimate dreams, goals, wishes, fulfillment that you envision for yourself. Dream big right now and align yourself with those people who can take you places. Okay, Taurus, good luck. Let's go to Gemini. For Geminis, North Node in the sign of Pisces is going to enter your 10th house of career, social status, your public image in the world, and South Node is going to go into your 4th house. Now again, for you, of course, there is nothing new, so to say, under the sun here. You've had already transit of Saturn through your 10th house. Neptune's been there since 2012, so a lot of themes from the past could be resurfacing. For a lot of you, you might decide to shift your career, maybe move. If you feel like you cannot have the kind of career, the kind of social status you want where you live, you might decide to move somewhere. Maybe there are certain limitations in the place where you live, or your family is limiting in some way, critical of you, and I do feel like you're focusing on this less and choosing to prioritize your career, your big aspirations, big goal. North Node in 10th house is a big deal. It's where your career can really reach this heightened levels of success. North Node loves to be in the 10th house too. It's one of the places where it feels very comfortable. North Node likes to be in the 10th house because this is the place where, if you think about all this, in today's world, things that we value, the status and certain possessions, certain things, 10th house is the house of visibility. So you might become even more visible somehow. Maybe there will be moments where you will want not to be as visible, but you know what they say, be careful what you wish, right? Suddenly you attract more attention, you are the center of attention somehow. So good luck, Geminis. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what your goals for the next year and a half are. And let's go to Cancerian. For Cancerians, North Node is going into your 9th house of guru, travel, spiritual education also in general. Any kind of experiences you have with foreigners, foreign cultures. So Cancerian, buckle up. A lot of travel could be coming up. You might be letting go of things you are comfortable with. And it's funny, as I'm saying this, there's a plane flying right, on top or right over me. So yeah, travel could be in the cards for Cancerians for the next year and a half. Maybe for some of you, you will even do what I used to do. When I would travel, I would not just go somewhere as a tourist for a few days or a week, but I would go and live for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months somewhere, even up to a year. So for some of you, maybe you will go and live in a different country from the one where you currently are. You might have been before sort of busy out and about, doing different things in your neighborhood, around your town. I see somehow you're going to be doing less of that and instead either studying something very seriously or going on those long distance journey, embracing some kind of new culture, the culture that is foreign, that's different to you. Of course, you are more than any other sign affected by lunar eclipses, and there will be quite a few eclipses on your 3rd house, 9th house axis. So the way it could manifest is that you will have a completely different worldview. The way you see the world, the way you think, it all will change in the next year and a half. So good luck, Cancerian. Let me know how it goes. Let's go to Leo. For Leos, first and foremost, of course, this North Node is going to your 8th house of shared resources, secrets, occult, secret dealings could be. South Node goes in your 2nd house. Leo, more than any other sign, needs to collaborate, needs to join their resources, needs to maybe even be a little bit more secretive in the next year and a half, especially, of course, Leo risings, but Sun and Moon as well. This is where your net worth could grow through your dealings with other people, through your merging of finances, of resources, of talents, through your understanding understanding, knowledge, and learning of the occult. Eighth house is a highly misunderstood house. Yes, it could, for some of you, put you into a little bit more risky situations, even a little bit more danger. However, at the same time, this is where tremendous opportunities for transformation could be presented as well. So, of course, again, as we go further, so to say, into the year, we will talk more about this. Let me know what you have planned for the next year and a half. Again, we will go deeper into this as we are, as we are experiencing this transit, so to say. Of course, you are the one who is more, just like Cancerian is feeling the lunar eclipses more, you're the one who is feeling solar eclipses more. So you have to be especially careful around the days of solar eclipses. Again, a lot of people think that everyone is affected by them, but it's not necessarily true. You, however, because Sun is your ruler, you do need to pay extra precaution. But of course, we'll talk about this more as the time comes. For Virgos risings, North Node enters your 7th house of relationships, committed partnerships, dealings with clients, dealings with anyone who is not you. 7th house is that marketplace. It is, of course, our committed partnerships first and foremost, but it's also 7th house is the house where the contract is made. So whether it is a contract between you and, let's just say, somebody you sell your services to, whether it's a business partnership contract, all of these things are represented by the 7th house. So here, this is a tremendous opportunity for you guys to create more partnerships, create more connections, create maybe more deals. Again, if you're a single Virgo, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to meet somebody who is very, very, could be a significant partner, maybe a little bit with North Node in Pisces, because the nature of North Node Rahu is a bit exotic. Maybe this person could be a bit different, maybe a foreigner, somebody who is different from your usual type of expectations, as Dorn Virtue says. And I feel like for a lot of you, because again, South Node is in your sign in Virgo, you might let go of this previous identity, previous version of yourself, maybe because you're very focused on a relationship, maybe because, when you fall in love, when you're in that deep relationship, a lot of the things you think, about yourself kind of like changes. You see this different side of you. Maybe if you were limiting yourself, if you were not believing in yourself, even had some kind of limiting beliefs about yourself, you're going to be invited to let this go, to purge, so to say, shed the skin, shed this old identity, and to find new meaning and purpose through your dealings with other people. Again, whenever North Node goes in the 7th, this is where our relationships become source of growth. It might not always be the most comfortable, time for, let's just say, you were always single and here you are, right? Like there's opportunity for a partnership. It doesn't mean that it's comfortable, but it's kind of like the more you embrace the discomfort, the more you grow through this process. Of course, whenever eclipses also happen, this is the time where a lot of unexpected things could happen in your life. You might suddenly meet somebody, you might suddenly meet an important person, you might suddenly break up. It happens with eclipses. And I guess what do I want to say here the most, with Saturn and Neptune entering 8th house, leaving your 7th house finally after quite a few years of being there, I do think there's nothing new, so to say, under the sun. You already are prepared. You've already been through so many lessons, right? Since, Neptune was in Pisces since 2012-ish, Saturn in Pisces since 2023 spring. So you're ready for it. You've been through much more challenging, I think, alignment. So good luck, Virgos. Let me know how it goes. Let's go to Libras. Okay, Libras, how happy you are probably that you're no longer gonna have eclipses, but there's one more in Aries in the spring, but still the eclipse axis officially shifts to Virgo Pisces, so it's no longer in Libra Aries. So definitely a sign of relief for you guys. But now you're going to be much more focused on your 6th house matters, with North Node being there in the sign of Pisces. I'm a Scorpio rising, so I just went through this transit myself when North Node was in the sign of Aries. For me, this was my 6th house. And what happened for me quite clearly, I can see it now, is that I became much more involved in things like fitness. I became a lot more busy with my work. There suddenly were a lot of things that I needed to take care of work-wise. But I think what stands out the most is, of course, with North Node transit through my 6th, I became much more fitness oriented person. Part of it was, of course, I moved to Miami. Here everybody's like very fitness junkie, so I kind of always like joke that it is peer pressure, you know. I started working out because of peer pressure, but really, like, I could never imagine working out as much as I started working out. Quite literally, that got activated for me when this eclipse axis shifted to Aries / Libra. So for you, of course, it doesn't have to be necessarily the same, because of course the nature of North Node in Pisces versus the nature of North Node inside of Aries is very different. So for you, it could be more, I don't know, maybe there's certain spiritual service you might get more involved in. Still, there could be like, this could be the time where you can get very much into yoga. You could start getting much more busy with some kind of service, some kind of work you're doing on a day-to-day basis. North Node in the 6th is always about being busy, again, whether it is your day-to-day routine, fitness, jobs, taking care, helping people, because South Node is in the 12th, which represents typically the house of rest, house of kind of just like not doing anything. So yes, definitely it all points to you being somehow more busy. Try not to accumulate additional debt or any kind of debt during this time, because sometimes that's what North Node in the 6th house transit brings. Be also, of course, more careful, more cautious with your health. It doesn't typically bring or not bring issues with health, but again, this is where we might become more attentive to matters of the house, and 6th house represents different things, including, again, your job, your any kind of service you do, your routines, including fitness, health routine, all these things. So this will become somehow area of focus. So stay healthy, try not to overexhaust yourself, because something that I've seen with 6th, 12th house axis of eclipses and nodes is that it's very hard to find that balance between, you know, like working, yes, getting things done, versus also rest, how much we need to rest versus how much we need to work. So all of this, you know, is something you're going to be figuring out in the next year and a half. So anyway, Libras, let me know how it goes. Let's go to Scorpios. For Scorpios, probably this is the most fun transition. Again, we've gone through this. I'm a Scorpio rising, North Node in the 6th house. I cannot say that, you know, other than like the fitness part, I cannot say that I enjoyed this transit as much. I understand it's not just about enjoyment, but North Node in 5th house, if you wanted more enjoyment, especially after Saturn, you know, hammering that, you know, 5th house since the spring of 2023, where a lot of Scorpios might have felt more depressed, like you're trying to do things that typically bring you so much fun and so much joy, but they are not, you know, the fun is not fun anymore. Now with North Node in Pisces, you're going to start dreaming again. You're going to start doing things that make you feel happy and childlike again. With South Node in Virgo in your 11th house, I think for a lot of you, you're going to be ditching, so to say, connections and people who are only bringing you down, people who are critical of you, people who somehow maybe are always so critical, never want to see you shine, never want to see you express yourself. You know, South Node in Virgo is quite literally, you know, how they say, like naysayers, right? Like people who want to humble you, people who want to like judge you, criticize you. And again, they will say sometimes, oh, it's just constructive criticism. However, you know, if you didn't ask for it, right? Like if you don't even consider them in a position of authority to give you that criticism, if they giving you unasked criticism, that's not constructive criticism, it's bullshit. And I feel like if you have people like this in your life, in whichever capacity you have them in, you're going to be cutting this out. No, you're gonna start with North Node in Pisces in the 5th, embracing your dreams, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel like you're having fun, like falling in love could be one of even the themes of this. Doing something creative, doing something not just because you have to do it, but because you want to do it. This is a very big theme of North Node in the 5th. So a great time to pursue your dreams, your heart desires. Again, like not so much because this is something on your checklist or to-do list, but because you want it. Like it really feels aligned to your heart. Creative explorations, creative hobbies, anything that makes you feel happy. For some of you, this could be a time where if you don't have any children, you might decide to have a child. It's North Node in the 5th house is the transit that could bring you, you know, like a pregnancy, a child, a new romance could be for those of you who are single. So it's a lot of things that are included in this. But I think that the key theme is, again, letting go of any friendships, any people in your circle that are just constantly bringing you down, and instead really listening to your heart and going in the direction of your desires. Let me know what you have planned for this transit, Scorpios. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of us. We deserve it after North Node in the 6th. Something that helps me, I guess, when I think about, like occasionally I meet people who are just, like sometimes you meet somebody and you feel so inspired, right? Like I recently met some new people during holidays who, like, just standing next to them, you feel, I don't know, you feel inspired, you feel welcome, you feel happy. And then there are other type of people who you don't necessarily vibe so much with. You stand next to them and you just feel so down, you just feel so bad about yourself. And essentially, if you have people like that, I think, in your life who, again, if there's themes of judgment and criticism and they're never happy with you, that's like, you gotta be letting this go. And especially something like I've learned about critical people, because obviously, like, I get criticized a lot for different things I do, is that a lot of people who criticize you, they just wish they had the ability to do the things that you are doing. Because very often, if it was a person like who is much more successful than you, they just simply are not either going to care, or they're going to encourage you, or they're just not going to care. And like, a lot of people who were very critical of me throughout my life, they were just kind of, I hate to say it, but kind of either jealous or just triggered deeply, because they wish, they gave themselves permission to do or to try certain things, that I do. So anyway, Scorpios, good luck to us all. I'm already actually feeling this transit, but yeah, it's definitely, I have high hopes for it. Let's just put it this way. Anyway, for Sagittarius, North Node is going to enter your 4th house, South Node is going to enter your 10th house. So when transit like this occurs, you become much more focused on your home, your family, your roots, your foundations in life, your private life versus your public life. So maybe for a lot of you, you will try to, I don't know, like maybe not be like working 24/7 if possible. I've seen this transit happen a lot of times when people start families, when people, I don't know, move in maybe with significant other, or focus on some, I don't know, situation they need to resolve with their family. The focus is much more on, again, those roots, that private life, that foundation. Emotional healing is a very big part of this transit usually as well. And with South Node in the 10th house, if again there's something with career paths that's not aligned, maybe this career demands way too much of you and you right now need to prioritize being with your family more, you might be cutting down, whether it's like the hours, whether it's maybe changing career paths. Like I had a client one time who was in a corporate job, and then she just went for like similar job, but I guess it gave her option to work remote. And yes, she cut down hours, maybe even made less money, but she was happy because she was able to be with her family at the time. So this could manifest like that. Of course, it doesn't have to be the only way it manifests, but essentially, yes, home, family, your heart is more important right now. So let me know how it goes. Let's go to Capricorn. So for Capricorns, this is going to be the North Node in your 3rd house, South Node in the 9th house. So maybe you're going to be cutting down on traveling, or it could also be that certain philosophy, certain worldview, maybe certain even a religion, a faith, or spiritual, way of seeing the world might not resonate with you anymore. Like you might be like, okay, this has served me, this has taken me as far as it's taken me, but right now, maybe with North Node in 3rd house, I want to embrace more practical approach. Maybe I don't want to be in the whole Delulu, type of some kind of spiritual belief, but I want to focus with North Node in the 3rd house, how to fix things, how to solve things, how to manifest things in a more practical way, how to maybe not travel all over the world, but focus where I am right now and make the best of it, local solutions versus trying, to solve all the like big issues in the world. Something along those themes could be. It could also be the time where you get much more focused on the message that that you have, essentially what you want to say to the world. I've seen North Node in the 3rd house, whether in natal or by transit, manifest as increased desire in writing, speaking, expressing yourself. Very big transit for writing. If you're a writer of any kind, or if you are writing or creating something, like 3rd house could represent things like design, writing, speech, making something like I don't know, I guess design again comes down to this. Even things like social media, things even connected to like any kind of podcast, YouTube channels, which a lot of people are doing obviously these days. You could be much more focused on that, somehow refining your message, taking all the different things you've learned, your vision, somehow things you've learned spiritually, and communicating this to the world in a meaningful way. Again, Pluto is no longer in your sign either, so it's a good news. You might feel more free right now. now. So yes, good luck, Capricorns. Let me know how it goes. And let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius is especially risings. North Node is going to go into your second house of income, earnings, your self-worth as well, your talents, how you see yourself, the money that you make. So for a lot of you, a very big focus is going to be on making money, also maybe not relying so much on the resources of other people. When South Node goes in the 8th house, not always, but more often than not, it manifests as that, like, let's just say you relied maybe on your parents, I don't know, for support, or maybe a significant other, or whatever it is. 8th house could be all different forms of unearned income, including like things like trust funds or money that you receive like is from investments, different stuff. 8th house is really like there's many things that are included in it. And North Node in the second house usually represents the time where maybe such resources are more limited and you have to rely on your own efforts and talents to make money. Of course, as well, with Pluto right now freshly in your sign, the early born Aquariuses are already feeling it. Let me know how you're feeling it or not in the comments. I do know that you guys are feeling it. It is an intense transit. I do feel like for a lot of you there is this new whole sense of identity also that could be emerging now, certain fears that could be coming up, but at the same time, it's like to me, like I was born with Pluto on my ascendant in Scorpio. To me, like Pluto on ascendant or Pluto conjunct any important part of your chart is sort of like, if you ever seen Dune, where they recite the Bene Gesserit litany against fear. That's to me like Pluto energy. It's like you have to embrace some of these fears. You have to allow them, to pass through you. But somehow with these fears and different, challenges you face, there's this other version of you that's reborn. There's this ultimate transformation that occurs that makes you 10 times stronger. So who knows, maybe even some of this transformation that your surge recently experiences is gonna influence the way you see yourself, the value you present to the world, things that you have to share, how you monetize your talents. Second house is related again to your talents, but at the same time to the money you make. A lot of our kind of like ability to make money in life depends on how well we are able to monetize our talents, because you can be all talented that you want to be, but if you are unable to see how to sell yourself, so to say, whether it's a job, whether it's your own business, some kind of product you're selling, you're not going to do so well most of the time. Again, when it comes to second house matters, of course, if you have a trust fund, if your 8th house is well placed, then maybe a different story, or spouse's income or whatever. But more often than not, right, we need to see our talents clearly to have some kind of talents and to be able to monetize them, right, through different means. So this is the journey for you for the next year and a half. This is what a lot of you guys are going to be figuring out. Actually, I have I cannot say he's like super close friend. He's more like, I guess, how would we call this connection? He's more like a connection, I guess. He's from this very well-known family, spiritual well-known family, I guess. And essentially, his parents and his grandparents are kind of famous, but he himself essentially wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to rely on what they built and, do what they want him to do. So he started building his own company. He's trying his best also not utilize any of his like family, resources or anything, do it his own way, which again, highly admirable. He's an Aquarius, early born Aquarius too. So I kind of can see like in his case how this already playing out, with North Node in the second. So again, there's something here about resources of other people either not being available, or you yourself maybe don't want it. You want to do things your own way. So good luck, Aquarius. Let me know how it goes. Let's go to Pisces. Okay, last but not least, Pisces. I guess we should have started with you, but whatever, it's like timestamps are provided anyway. But for Pisces, of course, North Node is in your sign, South Node in Virgo in the 7th house. In the sign of Virgo, South Node in the 7th house. For a lot of you, this is the time of rediscovery who you are. Again, Pisces been through a lot, especially risings, but Sun and Moon felt it too. Neptune transit since 2012. Saturn, this probably more harsh transit since the spring of 2023. And now there's something here to say about eclipses shifting to your 1st and 7th house, where for a lot of you there's going to be an opportunity to rediscover who you are, to kind of have this like rebirth, if you will, like the kind of like, how we all say in the beginning of the year, new me. Well, for you, this is a whole like new era that's starting, as Saturn and Neptune also going to be leaving your sign in the next year and a half too. So for a lot of you, this is going to be the time to really prioritize yourself, to prioritize, you know, kind of like connections also in relationships with others, where other people support this brand new person you're becoming. Because if you have people right now in your life perhaps who, you know, don't want you to grow, don't want you to move forward, South Node in Virgo could be maybe a partner who is restrictive, or just in general certain people you're encountering who are limiting somehow in some way. I feel like for a lot of you, again, if you overinvested yourself in relationships that were only draining, didn't really let you grow, didn't really let you explore, for some of you it could be letting go of this kind of partnerships. At the same time, South Node in Virgo transit could also bring you a partner who could be somehow a little bit like detached, maybe a little bit otherworldly, spiritual. South Node in Virgo could be like maybe even some kind of healer, or a person who is different somehow from your usual type and expectations. Sometimes, not always, South Node in the 7th house brings a partner maybe a little bit more like, because it's somebody who could be wise and more wise and mature. It could be an older person. Again, it does not have to be. It could be just somebody who is, I don't know, maybe very spiritual, maybe very detached from, you know, the things that are, you know, more typical or normal. And maybe it could even be like a very spiritual connection that you feel with this other person. You feel like you've known them, I don't know, from a past life, if you believe in that kind of thing. But of course, you know, as much as you can explore your partnerships, it's not about being single. Some people make a mistake. They say, oh, if South Node goes into 7th house, it's going to mean you're going to be single or whatever, you cannot have a relationship. No, you can, but it's more like a relationship should support you, especially right now, to you know, to keep growing as this new version of yourself. Whatever it is, you've gone through so much in the past couple of years, and now it's like time to, you know, to emerge as this butterfly. You know how they have like read the butterfly, it has a cocoon stage and then it becomes a butterfly, and it's like, it's beautiful, and it's flying around. I don't know why I want to use this analogy of a butterfly and cocoon. Yeah, you've been in this cocoon and now you're ready to be this butterfly. So again, relationships and people have to kind of support this stage of this journey where you are. Otherwise, you know, it's like if they're just draining you, it's gotta go. You know, for you and for you know, for Taurus and Scorpio, there's a bit of this similar theme. So yeah, anyway, you guys, let me know how it goes. Like, I cannot believe we actually finished recording this video. I was kind of dreading. I didn't know how long it was gonna take, but actually this was highly enjoyable. It's sunny in Miami, even though it was kind of cold today. Let me know if that's in the comments, what you're excited when it comes to this transit, what you're fearful of, what you have planned, what do you want to focus in terms of growth, how it's affecting your Sun, Moon and Rising. Anything that you might need is also can be found in the description box. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, happy to have you on my channel. I'm excited personally for this transit. I do think it's better than North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra. If you remember, my predictions for North Node in Aries / South Node in Libra were not, you know, the most positive. I even, you know, was not most excited to post them, but this might be much better times. So love you all, guys. Thank you so much. Happy New Year again, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.